What's up, beautiful people? This is Yash Atishay, and the last video we did, I talked about how to do the basic edit in this amazing software called iMovies, and I had an outbreak of people telling me, bro, I don't have a Mac, I'm not on an iPhone, I'm on the Windows side of the fence, bro. Tell me something, what do I do? And I completely hear you out. I hear you out. Calm down, I hear you out. I did some research and I found from my friends that on the Windows side, there's this amazing free software called DaVinci Resolve, which is a free download for Windows, for Mac, and for those two people out there who are using Linux. You can rejoice. The links to download it for the respective platforms is in the description below. Go ahead, download it. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to do a basic edit in DaVinci Resolve. Alright people, now I'm going to show you the demo how to use DaVinci Resolve. I'm doing this on a Mac primarily because I do not have a Windows machine lying around. And I go new project, I enter the name of a project, demo project, create, and then here's the screen. Now let me break down the screen for you. This part here is called the timeline. As you can see, lines are here. No, that is not why it's called timeline, because it has got lines on it. It's called the timeline because the moment you put on a video clip on it, or an image, or a soundtrack, or music, anything, you will see time code here. It shows you, it gives you a reference to know how long the video or the audio or the soundtrack is. This is the media pool. This part is where you'll see all the media clips once you have exported them. I have no idea what SmartBeans does. These two here are viewfinders, just like the viewfinder on your phone or on your camera, which is the display on the back of a camera, by the way. When you turn on the camera and you point it in a certain direction, that display shows you what you're looking at. It gives you a preview of what an image or video will look like if you press the shutter button right then and there. That's exactly what viewfinder does. When you start scrubbing through the timeline, when you start moving through the timeline, let's say in layman language, when you start moving through the timeline, these viewfinders will show you a preview of what your video looks like. Here are a couple of buttons here. We do not need to get busy with all of them. This one that looks like a mountain and a sun, that says media, we'll click there. This is where you can import all your media. So we'll go ahead and we'll choose a location here. Let's say I want to go with one of our own previous videos that have come on IGTV. I select this, I click on this, I see all the videos in the folder, which is just one. I drag and drop it here in the media pool. It says clips have different frame rate than the current project. Do you want to change? No, don't change. Let's stick with it. All right, great. It is here. Here you see the properties, the details of the video clip that I've just dragged and dropped. It's called img_2464.mov. Doesn't matter what it is called. It's in the H.264 codec. Most of you don't want to bother yourself with it. All you want to know is how many FPS it is. It is 30 FPS. And what resolution is it? It's 720 by 1280. It was taken in portrait mode with the front facing camera. You can see why it is 720 by 1280. And that is all you want to know. There is a lot more details here. There is time, there is how many channels is the audio, what is the frequency, what is the form, what is the format, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of these things. For the basic purposes, I do not think we need to get bothered with all of these details. We'll go back to this part here, which is edit. If we click there, now all of a sudden in the media pool, you have the video clip that we just imported there, right? You can drag and drop it here in timeline, and as I said, it turns into this time code place where it gives you reference to how long the video is. If you notice, it split the video automatically into two parts, this blue channel here and this green channel here. The blue is the video, the green is the audio. Isn't that amazing? On this end it is called V1, which is video 1, and down here it is A1, which is audio 1. I just find this amazing. This is how you, by the way, move around the timeline. So as you can see here, this is 1 and 8 seconds, I believe. For some reason, it starts with 1 instead of 0. I do not understand exactly why that is the case, but it starts from 1. Here it's 1 and 8 seconds, 16 seconds, 25 seconds, and so on and so forth. Now let's say you want to cut out the first part. You want to cut out up till here. What you do is you click on the blade here, You go here wherever you want to cut it, and you go just boom, and now you can see that part is cut here. You come back here, you click on the mouse cursor, and now you can use this as a normal mouse cursor again. You can choose this or this. Let's say you want to delete this first part, you select this and you hit on backspace in your keyboard, bam, that part is gone. One thing here to keep in mind, the timeline is not magnetic, at least by default. So as soon as you delete something in the front, the rear clips will not come sliding to occupy that place, so you'll have to move it manually. But some people may or may not like this. I think it's all about personal preference. I personally do not like this, since I come from Final Cut, which has magnetic timeline. Let's say I want to remove this part from middle, which is not like middle by the definition middle, but which is just not at either of the ends, So let's say I want to remove this part from 106 to 115. So what I do is I take the blade, I go to 106, bam, cut here, bam, cut here, and now I come back, I pick up this mouse cursor thingy, click here, backspace, it's gone. I pull this, I click on this part and I drag and drop it to exactly match where this part ended. Perfect. Now I have the video just the way I wanted it to be. Now what do I do is I go here to this rocket icon here. It is called deliver. No wonder. I think the icon doesn't make sense, but the word definitely does. You see here in the top left quadrant, you have custom, you have YouTube, Vimeo, ProRes, H.264 master. So if your target was upload on YouTube, you just click here, drag and drop, you select whichever resolution you want. Or if your target was Vimeo, you click here, drag and drop. Perfect stuff. You can export from here to Final Cut, to Premiere if you want, or if you can export an audio only. But we'll stick with custom for now. Then we'll go single clip. We'll change the name to, this is a demo video. Location, I'm gonna make it on desktop just because it is easy. I select desktop here. The name that you entered here also shows up here. You can choose to change it, but I would love to go with this name. Save. You want a video file, you want a single clip. You do not want this to be exported as every individual clip that you cut it into. So you select single clip, you scroll down, I will choose to go with MP4. It just works perfectly fine with pretty much all the devices, pretty much all the browsers out there. H.264 is the codec that I'll go for, because Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, they all love H.264. It's gonna work perfectly fine. You should not have to change it unless and until you're going for something like a TV commercial, which I really hope you're not, because if you're making a TV commercial watching this tutorial, my friend, you're so screwed, because this tutorial is not going to do you justice. For resolution, 1920 into 1080 is going to do justice to pretty much anyone. You can choose to go to 4K, which is Ultra HD, if this video was shot in Ultra HD, or you could choose to go with 720 if the video was shot in 720. However, this is very much dependent on the hardware of your computer. If your computer is old and slow, I'll recommend to go with 1080 or 720, even though the video was originally shot in 4K. But do not go for anything like 480, which will look absolutely like garbage. You do not need to look at any of these things. These are really high-end advanced settings which you should not be worried about, trust me. Just click here on add to render queue, bam, it shows up here. You click on start render and it starts working. It shows rendering in progress. It shows you the time remaining. It shows you how many jobs you're working on, percentages that has been done. This will be very much dependent on the hardware of your computer, on how powerful your computer is. The newer and faster your computer is, the faster this process will be. The older and slower your computer is, the more time it will take. You can anytime click on stop, so that you can, if you want to come back and do this sometime later. Saving this is very simple. File, save project, and bam, this is saved as a demo project because I named it earlier. And the one bad thing that I do not like about DaVinci Resolve is that it doesn't have autosave functionality. Every time you make a change, edited thing shows up here, which means there is some changes that you have made to the project which isn't saved. So make sure you're saving it periodically so that you do not lose any of your work. That is it, guys, for today's video. I hope you learned something new. I hope you're applying it as we talked, and make sure you like the video. If you liked it, hit dislike if you think it sucked. In the comments below, let me know if there is something else you want me to talk about, there is something else you want me to answer. Make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss out on any of the future videos that are coming out, and make sure you follow me on Instagram because that's where all the cool kids are.